All right, so I'm going to make a short video here for a game that I really freaking hate at this point. I had initially bought Battlefield 5 not long after it came out in November, and I got to tell you, it intrigued me. But one thing I found is there's a lot of inequity in the game, and it didn't take very long before after just a day or so, I asked for a refund. In fact, I don't think I even gave it that much. It was like literally within the first 24 hours. But I did have some friends that were playing it, and they convinced me that I should give it another shot. And so I did, after maybe a couple weeks, decide to go ahead and purchase it again. And I actually purchased it for a reduced cost, since already by then BF5 was available for a lower amount of money. So you can see this game is loading in here. Um, what I encountered was this progressive feeling that there was serious inequities in the game, that there were people in the game that were pretty much up to no good, that they were cheating their asses off. Is really the tendency I have, and mind you, while my experience with Battlefield has been limited in the past, I have played most versions of it. I used to be pretty heavy into Call of Duty, and with the exception of a game, probably, gosh, I don't know, Call of Duty 2. I mean, we're going back a lot of years. I have never actively held like a cheat or anything like that. I've never considered myself somebody that needs something like that. But just for disclosure, I remember years and years ago for Call of Duty 2, towards the end, after some frustration with what I thought was a lot of cheating going on, I did get another cheat. Now, for years, I've been playing Left 4 Dead 2 enjoyably, even after Left 4 Dead 1, and I had never used to cheat in that game. Just really didn't feel the need to and stuff. I knew it very well. I consider myself not the greatest player, but I consider myself, especially in team or co-op based games, somebody that could definitely hold their own. So I just never seen the need for it. Now in this game here recently, one thing I've noticed that you see a lot of is they call it white knighting. It's where you accuse somebody because of their actions and what you see them doing, specifically of cheating. That there's just no way that that's going to happen. The number of counts, the way you're spraying, killing a half a dozen people almost at a time, these kinds of things. You will get apologists, on their side, even on your own side, who are saying, no, no, he's just really good, or I know this guy, when it's pretty apparent that they don't actually know them. And talk about how great somebody is and how he's just really good at his aim, or I've been spectating him. And what makes this really hard, and you'll see this in some cheat videos, it's very difficult because you're depending on somebody's description. So I kind of was going to turn my back on BF5 because I'm really just tired of the game, and I'm tired of the cheats, and I'm tired of the fact that EA and Dice has literally, I mean, literally done nothing about it, by my estimation. The cheaters that I know have been rampant continue to be so, and they just keep coming back on. There's no consequence to just their blatant outright cheating. This bullshit about well, we're looking at the heuristics and the numbers, and based off of that, we're going to get rid of people. And that's been my experience. Okay, so maybe it's happened in some other places or what have you, but based off of my experience, it's really just amazing to think that's what's going on. So what I decided to do is I decided I'm going to get a cheat. I'm going to get a cheat because I want to um, uh, basically get banned from BF5. To me at this point that would be getting my money's worth and everything. I do not like using a cheat. I think it's extremely unfair. And in fact, if somebody says something to me, I'll say, yeah, yeah, I'm cheating. So, and people will ask all kinds of questions like, if somebody who is cheating and stuff, they'll say, why are you cheating? You're getting nothing out of the game. How do you look yourself in the face and all this and everything? You have to understand that many cases these are people that truly hate the game, and I've come to truly hate the game, not for its look or its thing, but because of the rampant cheating and a few other factors in the game that are relatively minor that you would normally feel about any game. But But when you truly hate a game, but you've paid a fairly considerable amount of money. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't consider $60 or $80 considerable, and then they say, well, why would you even buy a cheat? Because a lot of these cheats are roughly $20-$25 a month, and that's essentially what people are paying. And in some cases, there are actually free cheats as well. I have seen that. Initially, I tried to go find a free one, and I got it from a website. I think it was called Speedy 13 or Speedy 13 cheat or something of that nature, and it's basically just a public hack that allows you to see through walls, or essentially a wall hack, or ESP hack they might call it, extrasensory perception, and it just allows you to basically assign a color to a player. You can see their name and various things. You can put boxes around people, those kinds of things, and it allows you to see people. Now, when you are doing a cheat video and you have that enabled, as I've done in some of the videos that I've posted, you can see everything. It is so obvious when somebody is cheating, just based off of that. And so I've done some videos here, and a lot of these were actually only when I had the ESP hack for about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, and then just recently I paid for a hack that does a lot more than that. It actually has like an aim bot, and you can control it and decide where it is. And I'll demonstrate that for you here briefly as well, and how that works, and just how pervasive and how nasty, and how you could be so blatant about what you're doing, really blatant. And there are literally, at least up to this point, a couple weeks going now, there are literally no consequences whatsoever as far as EA or DICE or any of these guys are concerned. It's pretty obvious that there is absolutely nothing that's doing. Now, at this point, I would love to be banned from BF5. I would absolutely love to just put this game in my rearview mirror, but I did invest money in it, and I'm just sick of it and everything. It's not my intention to ruin the experience for people, but I do want to shed light on the situation because some people just don't understand it. And by the way, if you have a hatred or a disdain for the game, there is this kind of like small desire to, basically piss all over it or what have you. And so I'm sure there's maybe a little bit of that I'm doing here as well. But really, I just want to educate people and maybe, kind of turn around some of these white knights that like to defend people who, people will call out and just let you know that no, these people are cheating. They're helping to ruin the game. They're reducing the experience. Now you can see you've got all these people going around here. And before I go in, let's go ahead and we'll activate this cheat. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on this button. I like to do the Bone ESP. Right? This is the wall hack. You can do names and distances and vehicles and all kinds of stuff. And then you can enable the aimbot. You can even get rid of your recoil. You can enable the key here. And then here's the aimbot. Like, where are you going to hit him at? You get him in the head, you get him in the neck, you get him in the chest. And, of course, if you're doing this game, you're probably going to want to hit him in the head. And then since I've always got a weird keyboard configuration and everything, I'm going to go ahead and hit the aim key thing here. And choose my aim key, which is essentially the space bar. I don't know if that's the odd one, but I know I've had some issues here if I didn't do that. And then I'll just hit the key to get rid of that. And we'll go ahead and choose the favored weapon of the cheater within Battlefield 5. It's called the Lewis gun. This is good because of its high rate of fire. And usually these guys will get these things maxed out, and they'll turn them into these big gold weapons, and we'll just go ahead and deploy. There are squads in here. You can see here's Shazam Sucker. That is me, at least for the now. And then you got a couple other guys in here. And then let's go ahead and look at the tab and see if anybody's... look at here. We got Super Jonas, who's 22-6. You've got Billy's Balzich, and who's 25-8, and then Die in Honor. And you can see right here, I mean, these guys are next to losing. I don't even know why I'm going in the game at this point because there's nothing here. So maybe we'll take a pause, and then I'll load this in another one.